This book, Lashkar-e-Taiba, in their own words, the main contribution I think this book is going to make to the literature of this organization is most of the writers focus on the organization as a proxy of the Pakistani state to kill people in India. This book really talks about the domestic politics of the organization. And to my knowledge, I think I'm the only person that's been working on the domestic politics of the organization. I think this is where the terrorism scholarship skews your research questions to, because everyone's more interested in how they kill. Fewer people are interested in how they don't kill. So this book is about the domestic politics of the organization. And the primary basis of the book is a sort of a textual / quantitative analysis of information and data that I've derived from a curated sample of Lashkar-e-Tayyaba's publications. So these publications include biographies of the martyrs. They also include what I think are major texts that we need to use to understand this organization. So this volume is sort of analysis of those texts and what we learned from them about the organization. A lot of the terrorism literature focuses on what makes an individual radicalize. And I don't ever use the word radicalize in my work. I think it takes away the rationality of what they are doing. And I also have an empirical issue with the word in the sense that we would never say the US Army radicalized my brothers at 16, right? But we're doing the exact same thing, right? So if we're not going to say radicalize in one context, I don't know why we use radicalize in the other. The job is the same. There's a militant, there's a recruiter recruiting someone who has never previously, in most cases, had any experience with violence, and they're teaching them to kill under what circumstances. What differs is the moral equivalence or inequivalence that we're imposing upon these jobs, right? So to me, I find nothing useful in this radicalization, the use of that word. What I do find, what I do find interesting about South Asian groups, and I would say maybe the terrorism literature more generally, is that in the focus upon the individual and quote unquote why they radicalize, we don't understand the families in which they're embedded. And we don't tend to privilege understanding why the families support or do not support this young person's decision. And because my previous life as a military manpower analyst, I spent a lot of time understanding what makes a parent support their 16-year-old's decision to join the US Army. When you talk to military recruiters here, they spend a lot of time talking to the family. Here's the benefits that will accrue to you as well as to your son. I see a similar thing with Lashkar. It's even more pronounced in the sense that there is a social hierarchy around being the mother or a wife of a martyr, a shaheed. And in these biographies, I see mothers, sisters, sometimes wives, explicitly telling their loved one, I want you to go to Kashmir. I don't want you to come back a veteran, a Ghazi. I want you to come back a shaheed. I want to be the mother of a shaheed. I want this status of being a shaheed. And I think this is important to understand that the families, they experience a social elevation because they are a family of a shaheed. And this really shouldn't surprise people at all. When American soldiers come back from the battlefield, we're very proud of, I'm very proud of my brother's service in Iraq. I was vehemently, militantly opposed to the war, but I was very proud of the service that my brothers did. And I think for many of these families, they feel the exact same way. And their friends and family admire the sacrifices that they've made. So in my work, I actually try to bring these organizations into a frame that we can understand. And so I constantly make comparisons to what ordinary militaries do. Because in the case of Lashkar-e-Taiba, I think they're recruiting more like an ordinary military organization would be than not.